Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? Just want to point out something real quick about black customer service. Um, I don't know how many businesses we've lost over the years from the early 1900s to now, but I know there's been quite a few in the black community. I know overall, because of our population increase, black businesses in general has increased, but as far as the percentage of black businesses per black family or per capita in the black community, it has decreased because it was less of a population, but there were more businesses among that lesser black population. And one of the reasons why that is because back then we were big on customer service. That's what we relied on. It was segregated back then, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, really, really segregated in the United States. And so we had to rely on treating our black customers very well because we needed them to come back and return. And we needed word of mouth to be positive and um, um, to be reciprocal. You know, we needed word to come back and people to come back and word to travel and say, hey, this restaurant was nice, or, you know, this store where I bought my groceries from and they treat me so well, and the customer service is great. I mean, blacks treated their black customers very, very well. Black business ownership was a whole different ball game back then than it is today. When you walk in and you get the attitudes and nobody speaks to you and nobody's smiling and nobody's saying have a good day when you leave the store, and they're feeling entitled, you know, that you're supposed to buy their stuff, and if you don't want anything, get out. You can't look at the merchandise unless you're buying something, or if you own a bar, you can't come in there unless it's a 1 drink minimum or a 2 drink minimum, or we don't even ask you at the bar. Sometimes at a black bar, can we help you? Some of the bartenders will pack. The list goes on and on, regardless of what kind of business you have in the black community. They fold really quickly, like Chris Rock said on a comedy special one time. It was funny, but he was drawing this joke from truth. He said that's why black businesses can't last 6 months. You know, he was talking about, I think, the way clubs fought, and like the way we shoot and fight in many black nightclubs. He said that's why a black nightclub can't stay open past 6 months, because he was talking about, matter of fact, his act on that particular comedy show, his act was talking about niggers versus black people. He said, I love black people, but I hate niggers. And he used that nightclub example as part of his joke. He said, niggas fuck up everything. And he said, that's why black people can't have a club for no more than 6 months. He said, grand opening, grand closing. And it was really funny. I mean, obviously I can't deliver it like Chris Rock can deliver it. But the point he was trying to make is the same point I'm trying to make. If black businesses want to grow and we want to thrive like other racial groups who practice group economics, if we want to be successful at group economics, we have to treat each other with respect, and we have to treat the customer as if our life depends on it, because in essence it does. When our businesses fold because we didn't want to have a smile on our face, or we wanted to open late or close early, these are the type of things that can have your mortgage not getting paid, or your lights getting cut off, or your car being repossessed. So essentially, we should really treat customers in the black community, when we have a black business, like our livelihood depends on it, because in essence it does. And that's the way every other race within their community looks at business. You know, there's a guy named Jared Taylor, and I'm probably going to do a video on him. And he's a really polite guy, really well-mannered, really soft-spoken. You wouldn't know he was a white supremacist, but he's a white supremacist. Probably one of the most polite white supremacists. I love listening to him speak because he's very soft-spoken, and he's very courteous to the people who are interviewing him. Never slanders, never calls anybody niggers, nothing like that. He's very polite, but he's a white supremacist and he's a white separatist. But one black person who was interviewing said one time, why have you whites dominated the world for the past 400-500 years? And Jared Taylor looked straight at him with a polite answer and said, because we trust each other. It was so simple and so profound. He said, white people around the globe, no matter what tiny percentage we are and where we're at, we're unified and we respect and we trust each other, especially when it comes to business. He said he talked to one of his white counterparts and they said they could put a newspaper stand, one of those ones that aren't manned or aren't managed. You know, the ones where certain cities you have the newspapers in a box that you open and close and you put the coins in it based on, it's an honor basis. You know what I'm saying? It's based on honesty. You could take the whole stack of newspapers out of this open newspaper stand where the glass is and it has the handle and you open it up. But he said most white communities, they'll put the coins in it, take out the one paper that they paid for and move on. Whereas he said if you were to put one in like Brazil or a majority black neighborhood, you put one of those paper stands in there where there's nobody standing there managing the stand, or it's unmanned. It's just based on an honor system where they have a stack of papers in this open machine and they expect you to just be honest and they said the whole stack of papers would be gone. And many of us in the black community, we understand that, but we try to suppress it because it's embarrassing. We know things about and not saying that all white people are honest and all black people are dishonest, but we know our problems in the black community, just like whites know what their flaws are, their downfalls are, and their benefits. Asians know what their downfall is and what the benefits of being an Asian and what are the positive characteristics of being an Asian in the Asian community. We all know the ups and downs of our community and what we could work on. And in the black community, we know in our hearts that trust is a big issue among black people. We don't trust each other. And so when Jared was asked, how were they able to dominate the world economically, politically, militarily, he said, because we trust each other. And no matter how small of a minority you are globally, if you're unified and you trust each other, you can take over anything. And that's the truth, you know? So we need to trust each other that we can give each other great customer service in black businesses. We have to look at that model of what other groups do, not just whites. Jared made a good point, but Asians treat each other good in their restaurants and in their clothing stores. Arabs, they patronize each other in their communities and in their businesses. Indians, they patronize each other in their communities. Hispanics, they patronize each other in their communities. We need to do the same thing. We need to take notes and do the same thing. We need to have great customer service. I know black people face discrimination, racism, all kind of institutional drawbacks that make us unhappy sometimes, makes us stressed. Our length of life is shortened because of what we go through as blacks in America that other cultures don't have to go through. Our lifespan is shorter. What I was trying to say, we know that. Sometimes we don't have a reason to smile. But you know what? We're still here. We're still living. God has given us life. And it could be a lot worse. We could be in South Africa, in Cape Town, where they're about to stop delivering piped water to residents. They're about to be completely without water in Cape Town. Unless there's some type of emergency rescue mission. We could be like Haiti. We could be like Flint, Michigan. I mean, we could be in a lot worse conditions than we are in America. So if you have to smile, regardless of the racism that exists, it's probably going to persist for a long time. It has in this country traditionally for a long time, and it probably will persist in the future for a while. We might as well get over it, not forget about it. We can acknowledge it, but don't allow that to dampen your spirits and always be frowning and stuff like that. Smile. You still got life. You still got a chance to build your own business. You still got a chance to go out here and apply and get a good job. You still have your health. Many of us do. So when it comes to customer service in the black community, think about these things and think about your livelihood. When no matter what you're mad about, we have to practice group economics on the same level as every other race. They smile at each other whether they're having a good day or not. Blacks need to get on board with that same concept. Okay? Especially when you're dealing with your livelihood. It's not that deep. Whatever's going on in your personal life is not that deep to ruin your own business and ruin your own livelihood and have your business fold up because you don't feel like you have to smile every day. That's such an ignorant, just such an ignorant self-deprecating attitude to have to put your livelihood at risk and the food coming into your house to feed your children, whatever, because you don't feel like smiling. Like when we get over that, we're going to thrive. And that's what we have to do. It's a simple solution. It's not that hard. We just have to get over a lot of things that we don't want to get over. Quit holding on to things that we keep holding on to. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment. If you think I was wrong, let me know. If you agree, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Share it, please. And I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Peace.